This is it. I've done it. I've unlocked Kingdom Hearts 3's ultimate fun potential through none other than Attraction Flow. I never thought that this would be a thing, that I would have so much fun using Attraction Flow, and that I would go on to say that using Attraction Flow is possibly one of the, if not funnest things I have ever done in Kingdom Hearts 3. But this is breaking news, this is real. You guys remember Attraction Flow, right? The brand new flashy mechanic that allows you to call forth iconic Disney theme park rides to absolutely murder the demons of darkness. I feel like the Attraction Flow ride system for Kingdom Hearts 3 is a mechanic that doesn't really get talked about all too much, even though this was quite clearly a brand new mechanic for the game that both Disney and Square Enix were pushing a lot. I mean, if we look at the second gameplay trailer for this game, it was like the big new flashy thing we got to see. They really made a spectacle over this, looking at the pirate ship as well as the Big Thunder Mountain roller coaster. And don't get me wrong, they really did a good job of selling these Attraction Flow rides to look really cool, especially Big Thunder Mountain. That second gameplay trailer of seeing Sora in a roller coaster versing off against the Rock Titan was absolutely jaw-dropping. If you ask someone that plays on critical mode though, there's a high chance that you do have critical converter activated, and this means that Attraction Flow rides get disabled, and in exchange, form changes appear in the situation commands more often. Up until recently, it had actually been years since I had used Attraction Flow. Since the Kingdom Hearts 3 Critical Mode update, I hadn't played on any of the lower difficulties since then, meaning that I hadn't seen the pop of an Attraction Flow ride come up in like literally years, leading me to actually forget about this mechanic altogether. And when we finally got Kingdom Hearts 3, while I was initially pretty taken back by how cool and flashy this new mechanic was, I found myself, whenever the Attraction Flow ride would pop up in the situation commands, just pretty much resorting to any other situation commands that was available to me during the time. I would pretty much prioritize a form change over an Attraction Flow ride if I had the choice. From what I've seen around the community, it's not exactly something that people were absolutely taken back by. I think everyone can agree that it's something that looks cool, but isn't really a mechanic that serves overly too much purpose. I would even go as far to say that summons and Attraction Flow are basically the same, and if I've got a choice there, I would still rather just use a summon. I don't think, personally, it's going to be something that we'll continue to see going down the path of future Kingdom Hearts games, and it's probably hence the reason why something like Critical Converter was introduced, because I don't think it really was something that people were using too much. Most of them were absolutely situational. It came down to what world you were in, on top of what area, and even to the actual event in itself. When we look towards the Big Thunder Mountain roller coaster, that only appears in the game 2 times, during the Titan boss fight, as well as right at the end of the game during the 10,000 Heartless fight. And I think because of this, it led to this mechanic, this system, being quite forgettable. However, let me show you the absolute best use of Attraction Flow ride you'll ever lay your eyes upon. And this will probably change your mind about specifically one Attraction Flow ride, and that is Splash Run. With a little bit of hacky hack magic, with allowing us to extend the duration time of form changes to infinite, allows us to infinitely use Splash Run, creating the water trail infinitely. I don't know how the game can handle this, but there is absolutely no cap, as far as I know, to using Splash Run and creating your very own roller coaster. Yeah, this whole idea of introducing theme park rides into Kingdom Hearts 3 was cool, but what if you can actually create your own theme park ride with the theme park ride in the game? Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you possibly the funnest thing to do in Kingdom Hearts 3. Due to the world areas being a lot bigger in Kingdom Hearts 3, we can essentially turn these areas into our very own roller coaster theme park rides with Splash Run. It is simply glorious. Now, I've specifically chosen San Francisco on top of the Kingdom of Corona and Mount Olympus, as these are some of the biggest areas in the game, and gives us a lot of room to create the ultimate roller coaster path. I can tell you right now that there is probably nothing more satisfying in this game than just mindlessly spinning around a world area for about 15 minutes, like I pretty much did here in San Francisco, only to finally get to the end point and then see that custom path play out before your eyes, seeing Donald and Goofy on a big rubber floaty going up and down, soaring over rooftops, absolutely destroying Heartless on their way back to their starting point. It is glorious. And to make this experience even cooler, for some of the attraction flow rides, if you click down L3 whilst using it, it will put you into a first-person POV view. This specifically applies for Splash Run, the Magic Teacups, as well as the Carousel. As a fun fact, this was meant to be the just default view use of most of the attraction flow rides, but because some of the staff were complaining about motion sickness due to the POV view, and just rather chucked it in as an optional thing you can activate. I still think that this kind of goes as something that isn't really that well known in Kingdom Hearts 3. I personally found out about this in a Nomura interview. So for me, I really don't think that attraction flow is going to be a staple mechanic that will be seen going forward into the future Kingdom Hearts games. Again, it's just something that I don't really see too many people talking about, and while there are situations in KH3 where this certainly proved useful, especially helping yourself get out of a jam if you are low on HP, just quickly whip open the attraction flow ride if it's available to use in situation commands, and you're good to go, buddy. You're going to clear that area out in a split second. But it's something that I just don't really see get talked about, and honestly, I can't really see it being brought forward into the future Kingdom Hearts games, especially because it kind of seems like Square Enix are going to be taking in a lot of feedback that was given towards KH3, because we see something like Critical Converter appearing in critical mode as an ability that straight out just disables attraction flow. I think that is due to the response of attraction flow initially, leading into that critical mode update. One way or another though, I'm absolutely thrilled that we got attraction flow due to Splash Run right here being able to, turn the worlds into your own playground theme park. Like, this is glorious. Oh yeah, and that D23 2013 trailer, you gotta admit, that was pretty badass. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please enjoy me turning these worlds into my very own roller coaster.
Just Floor clear. Floor clear.